Hello again, guys. This is going to be a rant video about one of my favorite bands that came out at the same time as Megadeth did with "Killing Is My Business" and "Business Is Good" from 1985. If you don't know what band I'm talking about, and I don't think these guys get mentioned enough on here at all on YouTube, which is really a fucking shame. Sepultura. I mean, I really like these guys. I think, in my honest opinion, they were just as heavy and just as great as Megadeth and Metallica were back then. And it's like no one hardly even mentions these guys right here. Sepultura, they are just. I mean, Beneath the Remains was what got me into this band, and this is a fucking phenomenal album. I really like it, and it just kicks ass. I mean, Max Calavino, or whatever his name is, last name, and his brother Igor Calavino, great talented fucking musicians that I think are truly overlooked and just very underrated. Because I've seen a few reviews of this band, but it's on like a small majority of people talking about these guys. Because to me, they were just as heavy and as aggressive as Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer as well, which I'm not a fan of. I'm just saying, that I think more people need to talk about these guys right here because they are just absolutely great musicians. I mean, just the way that they sounded, and for me, Sepultura with these two albums are more death metal, thrash metal, and I like that. So, and I want to say right now that my favorite albums by Sepultura is always going to be Beneath the Remains and Arise. They're just phenomenal, great sounding albums that just kick so much ass. I mean, I'm surprised in how the drumming of Max's brother is just so amazing. This is the remastered edition of Arise as well, and Beneath the Remains is that's the remastered one with a bonus stuff on it. So, but thing is that I truly like these guys a lot, and they're just really great musicians. I think just really overlooked as a great metal band. I just don't understand where, a lot. When you see metal reviews, people will talk about the four same main metal bands: Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, and Slayer. But just a few people never talk about Sepultura. I never heard anybody hardly mention these guys except for a few people, and that's it. You got Andreas Kaiser, which is a great lead guitar player. I think he was on Beneath the Remains as well. I think he's just as great as a guitar player as Kirk Hammett is. I think he's a lot better, in my honest opinion, because I think the guy's more talented and more of a better guitar player than Kirk Hammett. Just my opinion. Yeah, these guys should get more respect than what they deserve. I really think that I wish people would talk about these guys more, because I really do enjoy Sepultura a lot. And in my honest opinion, I think they're much better than Slayer are. Because when I listen to Beneath the Remains, I think Max Calavino is a much better singer than Tom Araya, in my opinion. I'm not bashing the Slayer fans, but I'm just stating my opinion. Thing is, though, what I get so annoyed about is that I type some reviewers on here. Well, actually, no. I look for reviews of metal CDs. And a lot of them, they'll talk about just every Megadeth album or every Metallica album without talking about something different. And I really wish that they would give Sepultura more of a look and review these guys more, because I really truly think they need it more than Megadeth and Metallica and Anthrax and Slayer. You know, it's just, I mean, I'm a Sepultura fan. I really enjoy their music, and I think they are great musicians. I mean, you know how old I was when I heard Beneath the Remains? I must have been like probably 10 or 11 years old, and I was on a little cassette tape back then. But nowadays you can't even get cassette tapes anymore because they're just very rare to get them. So that was my rant about Sepultura. Now, the reasons I do there's so many Metallica videos on my YouTube page, because the fanboys of Metallica absolutely make me fucking sick to my stomach. Thinking that they're all highly overrated, metal band is so great, and blah blah blah. You know, when Metallica made Load back in 1996, when they were wearing the makeup and were not being as creative with their music like they were before, that was when I think the band died. And what, you know, this Metallica didn't suck because Jason Newsted was in the band. It was because the three members, James, Lars, and Kirk, became assholes with big, huge alter egos to their fans. And that's why I said they are sellouts. You know, there's much better metal albums out there than what Metallica has been putting out for the past 17 years since Load came out. I mean, like, I can name you two at the top of my head right now. And this is, you know, these are two Black Sabbath albums without Ozzy Osbourne. These are two with Dio. And that's Heaven and Hell and the Mob Rules. And to me, Heaven and Hell fucking kicks St. Anger's ass. Because when you hear Neil Knights and when that riff, I mean, that is a fucking killer ass riff. And the way Dio sings, man, he was an amazing singer. Just amazing. I definitely wish he was still alive. It sucked that he did die of stomach cancer. You know? But thing is, Heaven and Hell makes Metallica's St. Anger look like complete and utter fucking shit. You got songs like, also on there, Children of the Sea, Lady Evil, Heaven and Hell, Wishing Well, Die Young, Walk Away. Lonely is a word. All 8 fucking great, phenomenal songs by Black Sabbath. Look how fucking well that album did in 1980 for Black Sabbath. You know, I always say to myself, St. Anger should have been maybe like that album, but just as good. But at St. Anger, I don't get fucking nothing by Metallica that satisfies me or makes me happy. And the drumming at St. Anger is absolutely fucking awful. Oh yeah, get Bob Rock to play bass. Bullshit. And, you know, the production on Heaven and Hell is really much better than what it is on St. Anger. And just every single song on that album is classic, and just the writing with how the four guys, Bill Ward, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Ronnie James Dio, wrote these songs, man. Wow. I mean, just blew me away. And Bill Ward is just a phenomenal drummer. There was not one disappointing song on Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. I mean, I like Black Sabbath with both Ozzy Osbourne and Dio, because both guys did bring something to the table and made the band very successful and very big for what they were. Without those two guys, I don't think Black Sabbath wouldn't have been as big as they were back then. So, and another album I can name right now, The Mob Rules. That album is just absolutely another great album. It doesn't have Bill Ward on it. It has Vinny Appice playing drums. Man, that guy is phenomenal as a drummer. I mean, just like Bill Ward. I mean, he, to me, is much better than Lars Ulrich. And, you know, so is Bill Ward. You got Turn Up the Night, Voodoo, The Sign of the Southern Cross, E5, 150, The Mob Rules, great song. Country Girl, I like that one. Slipping Away, I like that one. Falling off the Edge of the World, Over and Over. This is the deluxe edition. Die Young and The Mob Rules. I mean, when you have two consecutive great albums that Black Sabbath did in 1980 and 1981 with Dio, and they are just absolutely brilliant, well-made metal album classics. It goes to show you that sometimes when you get a new lead singer in a metal band that has a great, awesome, unique voice like this, that you're doing something right. And Black Sabbath never hardly even changed their style of music. They kept it heavy, they kept it metal, they kept it true to themselves. So that's why I'm going to say that Black Sabbath has never made any bad, shitty fucking albums except for the last two with Ozzy Osbourne, Techno, Ecstasy, and Never Say Die, which are not my favorite ones, but at least Black Sabbath, they didn't sue their fans for downloading their music or become assholes to their fans like Metallica did. And overall, I just think Metallica are the most highly overrated band of all time. You know, because there's nothing remotely good about Metallica anymore that I'm going to say, oh, I'm going to go out and get this. No, I'm not. If it's something that I'm not going to like by Metallica, I'm not going to waste fucking $15 to $20 for their shitty albums that have been complete shit for a long amount of time, because that'd be wasting my money. I'd rather pay for a heavy metal CD that is a true metal album and there's not shitty production and that there's nothing hardly like anything that's too soft on it. Yes, there are soft moments on Heaven and Hell, but it's not like where they went overboard with it like Metallica did with Load, and on Reload as well. So, and also other reasons why I enjoyed those two albums with Ronnie James Dio. I mean, there's a lot of talent there, and I think they kept getting better with him every single time. Though when they made those albums, they just were just writing songs left and right, just really quick, and went in the studio and just got them done, you know. So The Mob Rules kicks St. Anger's ass as well. I do like the 3 Black Sabbath albums with Dio. I don't like the last one really that much. It's not really my cup of tea. If you like that, that's cool. I'm not bashing you. I'm not going to make fun of you. It's just my honest opinion. I do like Dehumanizer. I've heard that too, and that's actually not bad actually for a Black Sabbath album with Dio in 1992. It's actually really good. But yeah, I mean, Paranoid as well by Black Sabbath. I enjoy that one as well. I think it's still a really enjoyable, phenomenal heavy metal masterpiece compared to the shittiness of fucking Saint Anger by Metallica. And so is their first album that came out in 1970, the deluxe edition. I like too. So, yeah. I mean, ain't that just? Yeah, I bought this from Kmart.com. Yeah, I paid about $22 for it. It was definitely well worth it because of the extras, tracks on here and stuff like that. So I think that was really cool. So, thing is though, I mean, Metallica has really disappointed me over the 16 years that, or 17 years that Load came out. I don't care for that album anymore. I despise that album because, I despise that album. You know, and it's like, when I watched them play live on YouTube with their, still how old they are so sloppy and play so incredibly bad that it's just not even funny. It's pathetic that this band that only made 5 really good albums went from being a heavy metal, thrash metal band into big, huge corporate sellout assholes thinking that they're better than everybody else, when in reality they haven't made a good album in 22 fucking years. Megadeth, they still have what they had 28 years ago. And that's talent. And that's being a true heavy metal, thrash metal band. And never selling out just for the almighty fucking dollar like Metallica did. The thing that really heavy metal, in my honest opinion, and thrash metal should stay, just change it a little bit. Don't go fucking overboard with it. That's ridiculous. I mean, I like bands that change, but if you're just gonna not be your heavy metal, thrash metal self, what are you doing playing with other 3 bands like, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer, trying to be something that you're not? I mean, that's what it is for me, because I'm just not going to be surprised that the new Metallica album is going to suck major ass. I'm just so surprised at how many fanboy fucktards that kiss Metallica's ass, thinking that they're so awesome to this day. Oh, because they sold more records and blah blah blah. That don't mean fucking jack shit anymore to me. It's merely staying true to yourself and really being yourself. You don't when you're a heavy metal, thrash metal band, you shouldn't make double country, hard rock, blues alternative albums. If they were going to do that, why? How come they couldn't put out, I don't know, be a solo artist or something like Ozzy Osbourne was? Just that don't make no sense to me. That Load and Reload have to be in the discography of Metallica. It doesn't even fit with their albums like Master of Puppets or Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and Justice for All, the Black Album. It doesn't fit those albums. It's just, I think they were trying to go more for the money and just absolutely more for the fame, and that just pisses me off because these guys don't deserve the money that they get. They really don't. Because, in my honest opinion, they should have retired 17 years ago. Completely just stopped making music and just... Because if they were just going to continue going on to this shitty path, then you don't belong in the world of heavy metal, thrash metal at all. You should just retire and just quit. Because Metallica, all they're doing is just really embarrassing themselves. And they really have became the biggest joke in heavy metal history and thrash metal history as well. You know, because, I mean, what other band has made hard rock, country, blues, alternative albums other than Metallica? I know Megadeth didn't do that. I know Testament certainly didn't do that. Neither did actually Pantera. But the thing of it is, I'm just sick and tired of these stupid ass fucking fanboys that think that they're overrated, overpriced band. I'm calling these guys overrated because, and overpriced as well, because they don't have what they had 22 years ago. And that's being very creative with your music and being very talented with it. They don't. You tell me why the new Metallica record is going to be better than the new Megadeth record or the new Alice in Chains record. Because I'm probably going to get a stupid ass comment. Oh, Metallica's awesome and you suck, blah blah blah, and they still have it. Really? As far as I'm concerned, your overrated metal band has died. They're done for. They're fucking has-beens. And they don't have what it takes to be a true heavy metal, thrash metal band anymore at all whatsoever. Because if they truly did, I think they would have known better not to do these type of albums. What they did with the Load and Reload and Say Anger shit, and probably would have gone back to being a heavy metal, thrash metal band again. I mean, I look at, you know, they must think, what? How old is he? About 51? And he hasn't made a shitty album at all with Megadeth, because at least Megadeth can go out there and still go play, and they do it so much better than fucking Metallica does. Okay? And Dave's voice too, you know, because a lot of fucking James Hetfield fanboys are going to say, oh, his voice is better than Dave Mustaine's. I'm sorry, no, it's not. Dave Mustaine's voice is a lot better than James Hetfield's voice singing. You know why? Because Dave Mustaine still has that growl like he did with Peace Sells, but who's buying? And guess what? It's never gone away. And his voice has never became weak. Only James Hetfield's voice has. Also, too, he's a much better talented guitar player than James Hetfield. Chris Broderick is a lot better than Kirk Hammett. More talented, plays very flawlessly, and just overall a much better guitar player. Sean Drover of Megadeth is a heck of a better drummer than Lars Ulrich, because he plays very well with Megadeth and fits with the band as well, and he's a lot more talented. I mean, I really think of a long time ago, if Metallica got a different drummer, like, you know, Jimmy DeGrasso, or, man, I'm trying to think, Paul Bustaff, Joe Detty, I think Metallica would have probably been in a better state of music than what they are nowadays. What they are nowadays is absolutely fucking nothing but big, money-grubbing, has-been assholes. You know, people don't get the big picture of what it takes to be a great heavy metal band, and what you do and what you really shouldn't do. What you do is you stay with being the same and changing it up a little bit, but if you go overboard, then that's when your music is really gonna suck. Okay? I mean, I'm disgusted with Metallica fanboys. And if you have differences of an opinion about Metallica, of why you really don't like them after the Black Album, or why you hate them when the Black Album was made, people get pissed off at you for no matter whatsoever. It doesn't make sense to me. But the thing of it is, the new Metallica record coming out next year is going to be absolute ass. You see, I rather would listen to an album that came out, heavy metal record that came out 32, 42 years ago, than what your shitty ass fucking Metallica has been doing for the past 17 years. Because at least Heaven and Hell doesn't bore me, doesn't put me to sleep, and overall doesn't make me disappointed. You see? Because it is a much more of a fucking enjoyable album than Load is by Metallica. And so is Mob Rules. And that was what? So, yeah. 6 albums with Ozzy, and then 2 more with him, that's 8. Heaven and Hell is 9 without Ozzy, and the Mob Rules is 10. So, there you go. The thing about being metal is that you never change your image. I'm not saying like cutting your hair. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying where you fucking wear some type of makeup on your face and then becoming a shitty ass pop band. Because I have nothing against singers that wear makeup on their face. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where I saw the images unload with the Metallica members wearing makeup on their face, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is really Metallica? I'm like, this is not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear maybe like a Black Album 2 or something. But no, we get a shitty fucking pop band that sold out for the fucking money and for the fans to make a hard rock, blues, country, alternative album. And that's what I really think did destroy Metallica's career. Because when Load and Reload, when those came out, Metallica's career went flushing down the fucking toilet. And Saint Anger made it go way down. And Death Magnetic did a little better, but it wasn't much. Because Metallica are long dead and they're just not that great musicians like they used to be. I'm sorry. Later, guys.